I wanted to talk about an issue today. It's a mindset issue, and it's basically um, an explanation of the type of mindset that you need to have and strategy that you need to have when you're coming out of a relationship and going into a custody and divorce case. And this particular explanation is going to be more for people who are in toxic, very toxic relationships, maybe abusive relationships with someone who is, abusive or narcissistic or uh, controlling, harassing, toxic, the whole thing. Okay. Basically what I want to explain, how I want to explain this is, and this will really help you if you guys can understand where I'm coming from on this. When you're in a relationship like that, when the other side is very controlling, toxic, abusive, narcissistic, um, their whole method works because of their charm that they initially put on to suck people in, suck you in. So you kind of get groomed into accepting the behavior, and then over time, that behavior starts to change and modify until it gets to the point that it's unbearable. And it can be like living in a living hell for a certain amount of time, up until the time you finally make the decision to leave or they leave you. And what I like to explain it as is it's almost like it's almost like being a caged animal who is repeatedly like poked and prodded by someone, say a caged lion in a cage just big enough to fit the lion's body, and someone comes in and prods it. Well, when you finally get the courage and the strength and the ability and the situation to get out of that relationship, your human response is automatically going to be a feeling of freedom and then a feeling of fight or flight. Okay. So just like the lion or the tiger in the example that I gave you guys, the tiger is going to be ready to fight anytime they see a human being, especially the human being that has been poking and prodding them for the extended period of time, right? So you automatically finally get out of this relationship. You get the freedom, the strength, and the courage, and the support from family members from finally disclosing to them what's going on. And again, your human response is either going to be fight or flight. And because it's a custody situation and or divorce situation, and you're required to be there unless you just don't want anything to do with your family or your kids, you're not going to participate in the flight aspect of it, right? So it's going to automatically be wanting to fight. That's the natural human response. The problem is if you let that natural human response take over and cause you to be triggered and to lash out and to say things that you're going to regret and to make unnecessary attacks through litigation and through court, you're actually going to end up hurting yourself, right? It's like the lion or the tiger that gets out of the cage, has been poked and prodded forever. And then when they finally get out, they see that human being, and the human being comes up to them, and the lion automatically attacks it, right? Well, that poor lion's probably going to go right back into the cage, right? What you guys need to think of this as you need to be able to exhibit patience. And instead of like somebody, and I don't like comparing anything to war, because war is just totally different. But just to kind of get it visually in your head, instead of being someone who is on the front line and ready to jump into battle at any time, you need to think of yourself more as a sniper, someone who has patience, someone who won't be triggered, someone who won't make unnecessary moves, right? Someone who will wait for the right time, follow the rules, and look for the weak spots. Okay. And using the skills and the strategies and everything else that you learn in this program, it's going to help you do that much easier. It's just that you have to understand that that's the mentality, especially if you're already in your case, you have been for the long term, and the other side has the upper hand. When they have the upper hand, they are a lot more powerful. It's a lot easier for them because they can turn on that charm. They can kind of let you make the mistakes, right? And act like you're the crazy one. So we want to get away from that. We want to get more into the mentality of the sniper and patience and understand that you don't need, you can fight, like you can fight for yourself and you can defend yourself, but you have to do it tactfully and you have to do it very smart, intelligently. Okay.